Let's go to page 380 and start with number 2. Okay, it says find the cube equation. So you have the R1 equal to 3, and you have the square root of 2i. Okay, so it's the cube equation, so you need to get 3 answers. So right away, when there's an I, you need to have a conjugate. So be minus square root of 2i. Okay, minus square root of 2i. So again, you need to get conjugate. Okay, so now you have to get your factor. So you're working your way backward. So this came from x minus 3. This came from x minus square root of 2i. Again, when you set this equal to 0, you're going to get that. This came from x plus square root of 2i. Okay, again, if you set it equal to 0, and you're going to get that. Now notice your conjugate. So do not multiply this first. You're going to get into a big mess. You always multiply the conjugate first. Okay? So when you multiply the conjugate, okay, you're going to get x squared. Negative times positive is minus. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. I times I is negative 1, so this becomes plus. Right? So again, negative 2 times negative 1 give you plus 2. Okay, so again, negative 2 times negative 1 give you positive 2. Okay, so now you can go and distribute. So this one will give you x to the 3 plus 2x, and this would be minus 3x squared minus 6 equal to 0. And again, you want to rearrange the term. Okay, so you got x3 plus minus 3x squared plus 2x minus 6 equal to 0. Okay, number 4, you have the 1 and you have the 2 minus 3i. So right away, your third answer would be 2 plus 3i. Okay, now this, you don't want to do this method because it's going to get messy. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to use a root equation. So what you want to do is you let R1 equal to 2 minus 3i, R2 equal to 2 plus 3i. So just focus on this part over here. Okay, again, you don't want to do this because you're going to end up with x minus 2 minus 3i, and then times by x plus 2 minus 3i. Okay, so minus plus. So now you have to multiply that, and it's going to be messy. Okay, so again, you don't want to do that. So you kind of have to know both techniques. So when you have one term like that, it's quicker if you do the conjugate, multiply. But when you have 2 terms, you want to use a root equation. Okay, so the root equation is x squared minus r1 plus r2 x plus r1 r2 equal to 0. Okay, so you're going to have x squared minus. So when you add, this cancels out. Okay, again, when you add, this will cancel out. So you're going to get 2 plus 2, you get 4. When you're doing a multiplication, okay, you just multiply the corresponding part. So 2 times 2 is 4. Negative times positive is negative. 3 times 3 is 9. I times I is negative 1. So negative 9 times negative 1 becomes plus 9. So from this part, you're going to get x squared minus 4x plus 13 equal to 0. Okay, now we can put this part back in here. This came from, so this is that. Okay, so now we're going to put this in, we're going to include this one. So these two came from these. Okay, so now I have to get this part. So it will be x minus 1 times x squared minus 4x plus 13 equal to 0. And then after that, you're going to distribute. So you're going to get x to the 3 minus 4x squared plus 13x. And next one would be minus x squared plus 4x minus 13 equal to 0. Okay, let's go and get our terms in the correct order. So the 3 power, the 2 powers would be minus 5x squared, and the 1 power is this one, and this one would be plus 17x minus 13 equal to 0. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, number 6, you have x to the 3 minus 2x plus 4 equal to 0. And two of the answers are given. You got -2 and you got 1 minus I. Okay? Well, this is a 3 power, so you're going to get 3 answers. So you got 2 of them. So the next answer, you have to be 1 plus I. Okay? Because you have 1 minus I, so you have to be conjugate. And so that's it. Okay? So again, very simple if you know what you're doing. Okay, number 8. You have x to the 4 minus 3x to the 3 plus 4x squared minus 6x plus 4 equal to 0. And the 3 answers are given. You got 1, 2, and square root of 2i. Okay? So this is a 4 power. So 4th power, you're going to get 4 answers. So you got 1, 2, 3. So you need to get 1 more answer. And because there's an I and you got square root. So notice there's no I or square root. So to get rid of the I and square root, you need to have a conjugate. So the 4th answer must be negative square root of 2i. And that's it. Okay. So again, you can just look and you can write down the answer. Okay, number 10. Okay, this one you have to solve the equation. So you got 2x to the 3 minus x squared plus 10x minus 5 equal to 0. So the first answer you have is square root of 5i. So by using the conjugate, you know the second answer must be negative square root of 5i. So now you have to look for the third answer. Now to do that, you need to go and do the division. But first, we have to get the depressed equation from here. Okay? So this came from x minus square root of 5i. This came from x plus square root of 5i. Okay, so these 2 answers came from here. So again, this is simple, so you can just go and use a conjugate. So you got x squared, negative times positive is minus, square root of 5 is 5. I times I is negative 1 times negative 5 become plus 5. Okay? So these 2 answers came from this part. So these, when you factor, you're going to get one of the factor would be x squared plus 5. Okay? Now this one is actually fairly easy. You don't have to do the long division because by looking at this, by doing the checking, okay, think about what times x squared will give you 2x3. Would be 2x, right? 2x times x squared will give you 2x cubed. Okay? And now you look at the end. Okay? What times 5 will give you negative 5? Well, answer would be negative 1. Okay? So again, if you just by checking the beginning and the end, you should be able to get that. Okay? But this method does not work for, if you have a lot of terms. This only works if you only have 2 terms here. Okay? So from here, we can get this answer. Okay? So you set it equal to 0. We don't have to worry about this part because this part is from here. If you set it equal to 0, you're going to get those 2 answers. So from here, you plus 1 on each side. So you got 2x equal to 1, divide by 2, divide by 2. So x equal to 1/2. So this equation, the 3 answers would be 1/2, and you're going to get plus or minus square root of 5i. Okay, let's go to number 12. Okay, you got x to the 4 minus 5x squared minus 10x minus 6 equal to 0. And only one answer is given. Okay, you got R1 equal to negative 1 plus I. Okay, so from here, what you need to do is first you have to get a conjugate, right? So R2 is going to be negative 1 minus I. Again, this one you don't want to do this. Okay, you don't want to do that because it's going to be messy. So what you need to do is use the root equation. So x squared minus R1 plus R2, x plus R1 times R2 equal to 0. Okay, so when you add, this I will cancel out. So negative 1 plus negative 1 will give you negative 2. Now when you multiply, right, this is a product, so multiply, negative 1 times negative 1 is 1, Plus times minus is minus. I times I is -1. Okay, so it becomes plus 1. Okay. And so this becomes x squared plus 2x plus 2 equal to 0. Okay. So these can factor into two factors. So this would be x squared plus 2x plus 2. Now this one you cannot do the shortcut like this, okay, because this one has 3 terms. So you can do this, you can check what's the beginning, what's the end, but you're not going to know the middle. Okay? So this one you can know that it's going to be x squared, right? X squared times x will give you x to the 4. But the number, this would be a -3. Right? -3 times 2 will give you -6. But you don't know what's in here. Okay? Because this would be x term, so we don't know what this is. So, but we can at least get this far. So what you need to do is you have to use a long division. So you got x to the 4, and that's a cube term, so minus 5x squared minus 10x minus 6. And you want to divide it by the x squared plus 2x plus 2. So you have to use a long division. Okay, so again, when you're doing the long division, just focus on the first term. So you need to get x squared. So when you distribute, you're going to get x to the 4 plus 2x to the 3 plus 2x squared. Okay? So put parentheses, subtract. So you have to watch how things line up. So this will cancel out. 0 minus 2 will give you -2. -5 minus 2 will give you -7. Okay? And you have to minus 10x, drop that. So watch out your alignment. I kind of run out of space over here. Okay, so, okay. Anyway, so this one, you're going to get minus 2x. Okay? And so this would be minus 2x to the 3. So actually, you don't even have to do any more, because from here, we know that once we know the middle term, we know the last one is going to be -3. So you can work if you want to, but it's unnecessary. Okay, again, if you know what you're doing, you can save a lot of time. So we know that this is minus 2x. Okay? Okay, so this, we get these 2 answers. Okay, this we get these 2 answers. So now we have to figure out what answer will come from here. Okay, so you're going to have x squared minus 2x minus 3 equal to 0. Right? This is from here. Okay? And so I think this is fractable, so let's try. So you have to add to get -2. You have to multiply to get -3. Okay? So do 1 comma -3. Yeah, so this works. Okay? And so this would be +1 minus 3. Okay. Then next, what you need to do is you have to set it equal to 0 to solve. So x plus 1 equal to 0, x minus 3 equal to 0. So minus 1 on each side. So you get x equal to -1 plus 3 on each side. So you got x equal to 3. So now we can get all our answers together. So you got -1, you got 3. And 2 answers from here. You have the -1 plus or minus I. Okay, so that's your 1, 2, 3, 4 answers.